Hey guys, it's Heather from Kell Plan, and today's video is going to be a little bit different than our normal video because today is going to be like a planner chat where we're chatting and we're going to be talking about making a plan to plan because it can be hard, especially if you're new to planning, to turn this into a habit. I know back before I started doing decorative planning, when I would just buy a regular planner, I would buy a planner at the beginning of the school year. As a teacher, I'd go buy a planner. I'd fill in all of the important dates. I'd fill in our days off work. I'd fill in our training days. I'd fill in our testing days. I would just fill in everything, all the important dates. And I'd be so excited about this planner. I'd have it on my desk for probably about a week. And then it would go on a shelf and I would never touch it again because it wasn't a habit for me. It wasn't something that was built into my day. It wasn't something that I was used to doing on a regular basis. And so I just didn't do it. But when I started decorative planning, one reason I have been able to turn it into a habit is because it's a decorative planner. It's stickers, it's washi, it's fun, it's a creative outlet. So I enjoy planning. So it brings me back to my planner week after week. That is one thing that has worked really well for me with my planner is the fact that it is a creative outlet. That brings me back to my planner over and over and over again. It also helps that planning kind of turned into my job, into my business, because if I don't come back to my planner, then I don't have a business. So it makes it pretty easy for me to turn planning into a habit. But most of you guys plan because you just need a planner. You don't have a business about planning, but you might be finding that you're struggling with turning it into a habit. So that's what we're going to talk about today is turning our planning into a habit so that it's something that you do every single day. So I'm going to give you a few tips on how you can plan to plan. And I'm going to do it on this cute little page so that I can pop it into my planner and remember these habits in the future. But you can just screenshot this page if you want, or you can pull out your supplies and make one with me. So my first tip is going to be to set a specific time for planning. So that's what we're going to write first. Set a specific time for planning. And I'm going to write the tip in a bold marker like this. But then I am going to grab my trusty little pen. And I'm going to put like a little more notes underneath. Okay. So I'm going to say choose a dedicated time each day. Set a reminder. Literally set an alarm on your phone that goes off at the same time every single day that reminds you to plan. If that's what you need, then that's what you need to remember to plan. Now, you're not going to need this forever because it's eventually going to become a habit and you're eventually going to just remember to plan. But when you're first getting into planning, you need to set a specific time. Maybe it's in the morning, maybe it's in the evening, maybe it's in the afternoon. For me personally, I like to look at my planner the first thing every day when I come into my office. And then I usually check in on it again around lunchtime. And then I usually check it again at the end of my workday. If it's not a work day, I still kind of come in and check it around those same times just to make it a habit of checking in the things that I need to do. I don't have an alarm on my phone anymore to remind me to plan, but I did at the beginning. I would put a reminder however many times a day to go off at certain times that would just say, check your planner. You don't have to do it forever, but it's a great way to really help you get into that habit at the beginning. My second tip, I almost said tape. My second tip is going to be to create a planning space. Now, I have a whole home office. Most people don't have a home office dedicated to their planner because most of you don't have a business dedicated to your planner. This could be an office. It could be a specific desk. It could just be the island in your kitchen. But it needs a comfortable and inspiring space. Comfortable and inspiring space somewhere specific. Okay. Again, you don't have to have a whole office. It could, maybe you keep your planner and 1 or 2 sticker books and a pen on a specific spot in your kitchen. Maybe you keep it on your side table by your bed. Maybe you keep it on your side table by a cozy chair. Maybe you have a desk in your home and you keep it at your desk. Wherever it works for you, that's where you can put it. It doesn't have to be a whole home office like mine is. You just need a space because then when you're in that space, it's going to start becoming a habit and it's going to remind you to plan, and you're going to know where your planning stuff is at all time as well. My next tip is one that we kind of already touched on a little bit. This is use planning tools you love. Like I mentioned earlier, turning it into a creative outlet is kind of what brought me back to it over and over again, because I love using the stickers. I loved using the washi. I loved using my fun pens and highlighters. Things that I love made it fun, made it a creative outlet, and made me want to go and get into my planner. It didn't feel like a chore anymore. It felt like a creative space that I got to have fun with. So I definitely suggest finding planning tools that you love and using those in your planner, because then it will make you want to plan. My next tip is going to be start small. I probably plan more than anybody else because I have a business about it. You don't need to spend an hour every day planning. I would say start with just 5 minutes a day. 5 minutes a day is all it should take to write down your tasks, check off the things that need to get done, and know where you're going with your day. You don't need a whole hour to plan. If you're spending an hour to plan, that's great if you're doing like the decorative. If you don't have an hour to plan, I would suggest using some of our sticker books that have both the pretty and practical stickers all together in a set so that you can make a spread really fast, because then you can really make spreads in 5 to 10 minutes once you get the hang of it. But just don't spend a whole lot of time on it unless you're enjoying it. If you're enjoying it, spend all the time you want. If it feels like a task and a job, start small, and then you can add more time as you get used to planning. All right, this next tip is one that's really going to help you turn this into a habit. This is one of my favorite tips, okay? Combine planning with another routine. All right. This makes it so much easier to remember to plan, okay? Pair it with a daily habit. Pair with a daily habit. Maybe you do it with your morning coffee. Maybe you do it when you're winding down each night. Maybe you do it when you sit down to read a book at night. Maybe you do it with your lunch. Maybe you do it with your breakfast. Pair it with something you're already doing, because then you're going to remember to do it every single day. My next tip number 6, is going to be reflect on your day. And you can reflect on your day in different ways. You could journal in your planner about your day. You could use a habit tracker where you're just coming into your planner every day at the end of the day and checking off habits that you did. Or you could just come in and check off your checklists for things that you accomplished that day. Just reflecting on your plans for the day is going to help you remember to plan. It's going to help you plan to plan by going back and reflecting on how the day went. My next tip on planning to plan is going to be set daily goals. This helps you to touch your planner every day. The more you touch your planner every single day, the more it's going to become a habit and you're going to remember to do it. This could be done in a top 3 for each day. This could be done with checklists for each day. This could be done just using a habit tracker where you have a goal to do one thing every day. Lots of different ways to set daily goals, but making sure that you have something that you're planning every single day is going to help you plan to plan. It's going to bring you back to your planner every single day, and it's going to help turn this into a habit. My next tip is to incorporate creativity. Like I've said a few times already, using stickers, washi, etc. makes it your creative space, which brings you back to your planner. When you make planning fun, you're more likely to plan because you are enjoying it. My last tip about planning to plan and making planning a habit, tip number 9, is going to be stay flexible. You may find one week that you've created a planning space and times to plan, and you don't like the time that you chose, or you don't like the space that you chose to plan, or maybe you don't even like how you set up your planner. Maybe you don't like the routine that you chose to put it with. Maybe you don't like the way that you set your daily goals. It is okay to change how you plan. It is okay. You may change it every week. You may change it every month. Review what's working for you and then change it to fit your life. I hope these tips help you to turn planning into a habit. I hope it helps you to make a plan to plan. And I hope this inspires you to really jump into your planner. Here it is. If you want to take a screenshot, let me zoom out just a little bit so you can get all of the tips on the screen. If you want to screenshot it, I'll also put it on my stories on Instagram. If you like this video, I hope you hit the like button. If you want to see more of my videos, hit that subscribe button. And happy planning.